Once again, the question is, would you like to remove your suffering right now with just 10 minutes of mindfulness meditation? The door's open. So if you're new, this is our daily meditation group. Welcome. For everyone else, just another session, another day of practice. So today in this session, I wanted to talk about a few things. So impermanence, suffering, and non-self. These are some themes in Buddhism and across other Eastern forms of paths to enlightenment through religious practice or philosophical study. I would say removing suffering is a theme that has really been a highlight in a theme of this meditation group that I like to talk about. Remove your suffering, right? And what does that actually mean? It means detaching, having no judgment, separation from all of the things that cause suffering, which is attachment. Attachment to a certain outcome, attachment to your personality, your perception, attachment to your feelings, to sensations, attachment to thoughts, attachment to story, narrative, attachment to your imagined scenarios of life, so the imagination, attachment to symbols, the symbolic, right? So all of these things cause suffering because everything is impermanent, right? And when we sit in this place that is our authentic self, which is just the being before we attach to all of the social constructs, all of the imagination, all of the thought forms, right? The persona, the ego, everything. When we're in the present moment, we're here. Before we create something, before we try to strive with our desire towards something, before we are running from, pain and towards pleasure, right? Before all of that, there is a space before, and that space is pure awareness. It is a recognition that there's a separation between the person witnessing the stimulus in our observed reality, right, or perception. So there's that separation, and that is called space. And in that space is a stillness. It is a peace. There is a subtle bliss to this space when you taste it in terms of a visceral experience, right? Because we're not used to it. And so sometimes it can, cause spontaneous laughter or tears of joy because there's a relief in the feeling of permanence that there is in this stillness, in this space. So there's something I wanted to talk about before we jump into the meditation, and that is, you can skip ahead, by the way, a couple of minutes ahead if you want to just get into it. But body scanning with your awareness is important. It's something that I do. I don't really talk about. So there is the detachment, right? Level 1 of this would be, just observing the thoughts as they come, the daydreams, the imagination as it comes, the narratives, the story, you as a person, all of your wants, desires, dreams, your feelings, the emotions of you as a person. That's level 1. You're watching that. You're saying that's there. My intention is to sit in the space of awareness, detaching, not judging anything coming into my reality, not judging anything, and just observing, doing nothing and observing. That's level 1. Level 2, right, is taking that awareness that we're just observing, right, our field, the mental, and then the physiological, the physical, the physiological, the mental, and the perception of reality outside of ourselves, right? And the past and the future, all of that, mental construct we're observing. That's level 1. Level 2 is taking that awareness internally and feeling the impermanence of our body. And so that's something that you don't have to get into yet, but I would say if you would like to explore it, there are traditional paths like Vipassana meditation in Buddhism, right? Some teachers talk a lot about it, some don't. And so I would say, I would invite you to incorporate this into your practice if you feel that you would like to take your awareness and expand it, right, to the internal aspects of yourself, right, of the body. And so during meditation, I invite you to sit with the breath and focus on a triangle shape here, going from your nose down to your chin. Imagine that's a triangle, right? Focus on this aspect during your meditation practice if you'd like to work on the internal awareness, right? So we're doing all the things that we've done, right? Detaching, non-judgment, sitting in the stillness, the silence, doing nothing, and you see, the thoughts, all of the stimulus come and go, right? Once you do that, then you can also incorporate some awareness and expand it into the internal body. And as you focus on this triangle here, feel the temperature of the air as it goes through your nose or in your mouth, however you're breathing. Feel the temperature if you're breathing through your mouth. Some people, sinus season, right? As you breathe in, you notice the temperature is cold. As you breathe out, you notice the temperature is warm. You might feel like, wow, I'm actually numb. I can't feel anything. You might feel a tingling sensation, a shock, a static shock, a pain. You might feel a tickle of pleasure. Like you might feel something, right? And our job with the internal awareness, just like with the external and with the mental and physiological awareness that we've been cultivating, is to take that same non-judgment, detachment awareness and apply it internally, right? So the name of the game here is to expand our awareness to the entire field of our reality, okay? And so that's level 2. And so if you'd like to incorporate level 2 into your practice, and I'm just calling it levels because it's fun to gamify things. Level 2 of your practice, focus on just this space and the temperature of your breath, and do that for 10 minutes to cultivate the focus. And then to build upon that practice, I can talk more about body scanning, and eventually you can expand your awareness and feel your entire body at the same time. And that takes time and focus and building that muscle of paying attention, right? And sitting in that stillness and awareness, right? So the awareness muscle is what we're building. It's what I'm building in my practice. And so I invite you to incorporate body scanning, if you'd like, into your practice. Otherwise, we're sitting, we're doing nothing. We are just observing. We are observing what comes in with detachment and with non-judgment. So let's meditate. I'm going to set a 10-minute timer, and we begin in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. That's the end of our session today. I hope the practice served your highest intentions, that you're able to cultivate the awareness, that maybe you tried some body scanning, maybe you're just continuing your path, whatever that looks like for your meditation practice, right? Because we do have many different perspectives in this group, but what it all comes down to is we're still accountability partners. And so I'm so grateful. Thank you again to everybody to make this 200 member strong group where we're all benefiting each other by showing up every day. Because I know the pressure's on. I have to show up because everyone else is. So to cap off this session, I'm going to read an excerpt from Angelus Silesius. It's a German poet from the 16th century. Quote, well, I guess poem. Goes like, God, whose love and joy are present everywhere, can't come to visit you unless you aren't there. I'll leave that for you to mull over until our session tomorrow. Good to see you.